it's that duality that's so beautiful in their
Mhm.
character. Like when they're arguing, screaming at each other, and then just like, oh, grenade, and then jump out the window together. And Matt catches him, swings like down together. It's just so good to watch, so palpable. I don't know why they made us wait so long for that.
Mhm.
Hey heroes, welcome in. Spoiler warning! Daredevil just finished. So if you haven't seen Daredevil, please watch through its totality before you watch this episode. Or if you don't care, that's totally cool as well. We're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of it. So, Kyle, I know we just finished watching literally like seconds ago.
Yep.
What talk to me.
So I'm just overall throughout the whole season, there's a few pacing issues with it, but there were some really cool moments. Overall, I would say it's lackluster. I'd say that it
I
fell a
agree,
little
brother.
short of expectations, and I was really hoping for more from it.
It just didn't necessarily feel
Complete.
like not just that. I was gonna say like what I thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Like before this came out, I was very under the impression that this was gonna be like a very like Penguin-esque, like crime thriller, like deep into like Daredevil. But this was very deep into Matt Murdock.
Yeah, should have been
And
Matt Murdock born again.
but like yes, it really should have been Matt Murdock born again because while I get it, like I get everything they did and they did it in a really good way and it was like beautifully done. I just think that their structure could have been shrunk a little bit. Everything that
Mhm.
they did that I thought was really cool, like in this late episode 9, how like everything is setting in on everyone. That like Fisk is in charge now. They're like looking around and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
like
even the
we
people who
made
were
the
like on his
wrong
side.
choice."
Yeah,
You
like
know what I
that
mean? Like
kid that's
it even
I mean,
shows him, being like, "Ooh, like that was extreme."
yeah.
Like when he snaps dude's face in twain. There's that one Punisher kid who shows later on who's like,
Yeah. And well, he
oh, like, can you imagine being in that situation and just got out of the academy? You met some cool bros. You got a neck tattoo of the Punisher. You're like, hell yeah, dude, I'm working for the mayor. And then you just walk in there, he smoosh cakes the
well,
commissioner's face.
it's actually technically worse than that because you are the reason that you brought the commissioner there. You
And
drove
he's
him there. You were his chauffeur to his face smushing.
like,
But like he even says to the commissioner, like, just trying to survive.
no,
And
for
he's
sure.
like, yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no, I
He's like,
totally get
I
that.
don't blame you at all, kid. Like, you're in a really
Uh,
messed up situation. Like, I did, there were certain aspects of it that felt like,
But to
and
but to what I was saying, sorry to interrupt you, is
there you
like
go.
all of that was really good, but it could have happened at a shorter span. It didn't need to do it through 9 episodes. I think they could have done
Yes.
it by the midpoint of this season. This season didn't feel like a very good full season. Uh,
And it wasn't ever originally supposed to be, and they just never changed the pacing, but they did cut it into 2 seasons. It was how I felt about this season,
Still
episode
some milk, my
9.
brother.
How I felt about episode 9 was that it was a really, really good mid-season finale. It was a
No, that
great
you know what? That's
mid-season
a really
finale.
good way to put it. Because that's exactly how I was just trying. I didn't have it in the structure of my mind, but what I was just trying to say is exactly that. It if this felt more like the mid-season finale where I wish that they would have shortened this arc to make it the mid-season of season 1 so that we could have seen by the end of season 1 the last 4 episodes could have been very Daredevil centric.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But I don't want to sound like because like I don't want to be like the person who's asking for too much, who's just harping on everything. You know what I mean? Because like I have been harping on like the Muse thing,
Yeah.
like we made like 2 episodes of me just raging and ranting about how terrible that was. So I'm not gonna do it again. I'm just gonna say that Muse, how dare they do that? Terrible. There's just 0 out of 10.
It was
Just
poor
0
choices.
out of 10.
Poor choices all around.
But without that and trying to see some of the light and what I really enjoyed, I can pull like a few things. One, right off the bat, Daredevil versus Bullseye. That scene was just super fucking good. Just
Mhm.
awesome. Like going on Bullseye again, that tooth thing that he did in episode 8, that was cool.
How he escaped? Yeah, that was dope.
That
That
was
was
cool.
sick.
Like, he- I, I knew there was something up when he asked Matt to go. Like, I was like, "There's no reason." Like, and then Matt hit him, and I was like, "This little bastard." And when he was doing that two thing, I was like, "This bastard!" Like, that is the most bullseye thing. I just love
That's
it.
exactly what I was
Anything.
gonna say too, is like that's what made it so good for me is that it felt very bullseye. You know,
Yeah,
it felt like true to the character,
very much.
contrary to what they did with Muse. Um, breathe it out, brother. Breathe it
I'm done.
out.
Why are you bringing me back?
But like to the point of this being like split in 2 seasons, I really, really don't want to wait a year for the
I
rest of the
know, bro. I
season.
want it
It's
now.
ridiculous. Like
Especially
I
because I'm
would have
seeing images and I'm just seeing that new
it,
black suit that he's
it
wearing. It
just
looks
feels
so
like, you
cool.
know, like shows 20 years ago that aired on network television, they had 24 episodes, and after 10 to 12 episodes, they would have a mid-season finale. They
And
would take
that's what we
3
were
weeks
asking
off,
for.
4
At least
weeks
me
off,
and you
and then
and
they'd come back.
the people that we know, we were asking that of shows. We were like, damn, like 5 episodes in Hawkeye, that's so low. Like 6 episodes, 7 episodes a season, like damn, man. Like as a society, we're just not enjoying that so much. And instead of, I thought we were gonna get Daredevil in an 18 episode season, and it was gonna kind of be a counter to that. Like, hey, like bam, like this is an old school like season, like just lots of content like in it. But instead, they chose to split it in two, and now this first season, like you said, it felt so flat. Like not that like, again that there weren't good moments. Like again, like that Punisher and Daredevil fight. Not only actually the best scene in the whole show is the conversation between Daredevil and Punisher. Unfortunately, it does break down that way. That's the best scene in the show. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was an action scene that I could say was like the absolute best thing in the whole show, but it wasn't. It was that conversation. It was
Was that
so beautiful.
yeah, those
It was
interpersonal
so emotional.
relationships. Honestly, in my opinion, that was one of the best parts of the Netflix show as well, was Punisher and Daredevil's
Their duality,
interactions.
it just
Yeah.
works so well. Like
You're
even
an
like when
asshole,
they're like,
Frank. Yeah, I know.
yeah, I love it. Like even, but like when they're in the heat and fighting, uh, like when he's like, there's like he's not worth it, and he's like, well, what about him? Is he worth it? Pow! Just
Pow.
like kills the
God damn
dude
it, you're a liability, Frank.
just on the like on that psychological fight that they have. I love that
Mhm.
battle, like that where like Matt he comes to a point where his line doesn't make sense, and neither does Punisher's. You know, like he have just like killed the dude, or like the fat guards guy that was just like sitting there that he just like slaughters for like you could have just through him, Frank. Like like that guy is there for a reason. Like he sucks. Like he's just there. But like it's that duality that's so beautiful
Mhm.
in their character. Like when they're arguing, screaming at each other, and then just like, oh, grenade, and then jump out the window together. And Matt catches him, swings like down together.
They
Like they're
land on the thing, he
just
rolls off
grunting
like son of a
immediately, just like
bitch.
man, like fucking like. Meh." It's just so good to watch, so palpable. I don't know why they made us wait so long for that.
Mhm.
Where
That
that's the most palpable thing on screen.
yeah,
You can't not know that as the director when you're looking at it, when you're shooting it. How can you not know that that's the juice of the show?
yeah, for real though. I
Like,
don't John Barenthal's Punisher is so I
mwah.
love the way he grunts and shit when he's fighting and he's
Oh, dude, yeah, he's like an animal.
it's so
Also,
Punisher like
I really like. I made a note of this in my mind. The difference in the choreography. Kudos to them in showing the difference in how somebody would fight and think and tactize if they wanted to kill and if they don't want to kill. Like Matt moves strategically, he hits people in such a way to knock them out. Whereas like Frank, the dudes are wearing a vest, he's like going and shooting dudes in the side where there's no
and in their
like
thighs and
like
like through
it's
the
just to
walls.
kill. Like
Oh,
his mentality is I'm gonna wound you and then kill you. Like whereas Matt's is I'm trying to subdue you, and the difference in their choreography is so cool to watch. That scene was so good because of that to me. Where
yeah.
it was just like watching Matt be a badass and subduing, and then just like tackling the dude as he's like unloading like on him, just like full brutality style.
Yeah, like, oh,
Awesome.
when he shoots him through the wall, when the 2 guys are on
Oh,
the other side of the wall, and he just, like, lines it up and just starts blasting through, and the guy's like, "Oh my god, I'm getting shot in the ass." Like, what?
that actually brings me how cool this scene was with Punisher brings me to a negative I had. It's not even so much a negative as something I wanted that we didn't get. And I guess we got it in a way when he's trapped and they're kind of like appealing to him, and he's like, "You're clowns. Like you're
we
nothing.
talked
Like
we
you are
talked about this
absolutely
on a
nothing."
previous episode, how much we wanted him to just show
Like
them, to punish
punish
them.
them for
Yeah,
using his skull.
yeah.
I really wanted there to be just a comment on the like, how dare you use like my skull. I really wish that I guess like when he was talking to them that there would have been a little more impact on
Hmm.
the police officers. That like some of them started to be like, man,
To
we might
doubt.
be on the wrong
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
the
Like
person they're co-opting is telling them they're
I guess I
clowns,
would
that
have
they
really
don't
liked
know
just
what
like
they're
a like how
talking
dare you use like you don't I guess he started to do it where he's like you don't know my pain. But it was like
about.
how dare you use like this where you don't know what this represents. You know, like
Mhm.
I guess I would have liked a little bit more in that vein.
I 100% agree with that. That felt, again, it
And
just
low
fell
key, I
short.
wish Matt would have turned his back on Cole. You know, the dude who's like has his arm like strung up with the dude who killed Hector.
Yeah.
Like I wish Matt would have been like, I'm not gonna kill you, and then turned his back and been like, but I'm not gonna save you from this absolute maniac.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just have had Punisher just like use him as the like bridge to like the how dare you, and then just like killed him in a real brutal fashion. 'Cause there was some brutal killing, dude. Like not only the
Right.
Kingpin smooshing, like he was just like slashing dudes' necks, just like
Yeah. Punisher doesn't, he gets the
he
job done
says
as
to Matt, like,
effectively as
really,
possible.
not to harp on this whole fight scene, but he says to Matt at the beginning, like, "Hey, I'm gonna carve them up, and you
They
gotta be
come up
okay with that."
here. Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
Matt's
chop
like,
them
"Ma
up.
ma ma," and he comes in there just he's like, "I don't just say things, brother."
I do. All right. That's my whole thing. I don't
And then
say,
he's
I
on the
do.
ground just carving the dude to pieces. I'm like, "Wow, a man of his word."
That's, if Frank Castle is one thing, he is a
Give
man of
us
his word.
more of that, please.
Yes, please.
We
Tell
want
us.
more superheroes doing superheroing in the superhero content.
Yeah.
For favor.
This felt like a law drama, and a mediocre one at that. Let us let us know how you guys felt about this season in the comments below. We're really interested to see how you guys felt about it. Um, we hope that, like, I get self conscious that, like, am I being too critical? Am I harping on it? Am
Agreed.
I hoping for too much? So please humble us if we are being a little too
Or
uppity.
tell
Let
us
us
if
know,
you were
or
one
tell
of
us if you
so we
agree.
don't feel so crazy. You know, because
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
especially with that whole Muse thing, nobody said anything to me, and I just feel like I'm insane. Like nobody else is talking about it. Everyone
Like,
else
am
is
I
just
being
glazing
gaslit?
this
Are you
show.
gaslighting me?
Like, everyone else is glazing this like extremely well, and I'm not trying to say that it doesn't deserve any sort of glazing. Like you know, like in its deserved spots, it does. But
Yeah.
like you said, if I had to rate this, we don't do a lot of ratings here. But if I had to, I would go like low six. You know, like 6.3. You know, like six point
So I
five,
was
maybe
I was
with the
thinking
action scene at the end
mid
of
this mid
9.
high six with the
You
end
know,
of 9, yeah. And with some of the, like, I don't know if we mentioned this, but some of the, like, aspects of that episode 8 and 9, when Fisk is talking to Matt when they're on the dance floor,
oh yeah, no, that was cool.
knowing that only Matt could hear him.
You know, like after I
Like,
said it, I feel like that's too critical. I feel like like my scale is weird. But
yeah.
like there were parts I really enjoyed and like little things like that. I was gonna say with Matt's powers, you know, where like that Fisk knows that only he could hear him in between
And
the
he
music.
tells yeah, and he tells
Like,
Vanessa, like,
like,
shh, you're not
like,
here. Like, we're
yep,
not
like,
safe right now. So not to say there weren't some really cool non-action aspects as
yeah.
well. And,
Also,
like,
something not to just keep bringing things up, but the way that they did the blue hue every time Bullseye was like about to do something, or like there was like a bullseye ness going, that like blue hue that took over was really really cool. I don't know if you noticed that.
yeah,
But, like,
they did a very similar thing with Daredevil, actually, at the end there, where it was red. Like,
hmm
at the end, when he was standing in Josie's bar, and he had the army that he was created, that they
yeah,
were
right.
collecting, and it, like, zoomed in and has, like, the red splash across it. It was very very similar to
I
what they did with their
I did
Bullseye.
see there was a lot of shots that felt very comic booky,
Hmm.
like just very right out of like real like some like panels.
Especially with the traversal in this one, with him, like, zipping
Totally.
around and, like, using
hmm
the Like,
The
I don't even know what those are, like his walking stick.
there is a name for that weapon, but I
Yeah,
don't know what it
yeah,
is. Tell us in
yeah,
the
yeah.
comment what's the name of Daredevil's weapon. We are just terrible, terrible. Uh,
But the way they used that in this one was much different than he'd ever
yeah,
used it in
for
anything
sure,
prior, which was
especially in the
really
Netflix
cool.
show.
One of the
Pretty cool.
things I think that like the original character BB Urich, that was a really good addition, and it was kind of
Agreed.
like a way to show a different perspective, like how am I trying to put this, like from what we normally see. Like we normally see it from Kingpin or Daredevil, either a vigilante, a hero, or a villain, or a cop, or someone who's in the
Well, I
system
like the like. There's always
rather
the
than someone
reporter
just
character.
reporting on the system.
You
Yeah.
know, like there's always the reporter character, like
Hmm.
in every like superhero tale.
Yeah.
I liked the way they used her in the sense that like she's reporting glory pieces for Fisk under her own name to keep herself safe because she knows that he killed her uncle. But while also pulling out smear and like
Under a
truth
pen name.
articles under
Yeah.
different names. It's seemingly not just one.
Yeah.
You know, the way she made it seem was like, hey, like I have like a bit of a network going. You know, and like if you want some information to leak out, this is the like spot to like do it.
Yeah, they
Uh,
really
that was pretty
saved
cool.
that character with that scene. I was actively in my notes, like writing about how I was annoyed with how like useless this reporter character was, and how she had gotten the wool pulled over her eyes. And then they literally, as I'm typing this, I'm watching the scene go down of them vindicating her, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and erase this.
Nice. Yeah.
I was like,
No,
all right.
I really like that as well. Just like I said, a different take on the classic reporter character.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
there were.
guys, please let us know what are some things that you liked about this show. What are some things that you disliked? Like, where would you rate this on like Marvel's hierarchy of shows? You know, did you feel like Kyle is right in the sense that this didn't feel like a full season? That it felt like a half of a season, whereas the season was supposed to be the 18 episodes that we're gonna get from season 1 and 2. Because to me, that's like the nail on the head. Like, of
It's one
the
story split
Achilles
into
heel
two.
of this
Like,
show. Um, but yeah, like the idea is that we're gonna have these conversations and we can talk to you guys about this stuff, so that the people making this one day can maybe see our opinions and we can all just like get these thoughts out there and it can elevate this type of content so that we don't get sevens,
yeah.
so we can
Well,
get just
I just
tens. We're just getting
I
tens and nines and
I just thought of
bangers.
another way to another way I wanted to put it is that this this show should be better. Like, no, the way I want to
Had
put
the
it is that
potential to be so
well,
much
well
better.
the way I want to put it is that by next year, I'm not going to be nearly as excited for the next season as I
Yeah,
am right now,
yeah.
because of the way they left it off and not enough of it was closed. I'm by the time we get the next season, it's just going to be like it's not going to have
I'm
the
gonna
oomph.
like, yeah, I'm gonna have to want to revisit this show, and I don't want to revisit the show necessarily. I really do wish that like there was gonna be another episode next season and for the next few weeks, and it was gonna finish out this story because like it just like it, but like you said, I don't have the luster to wait a year. This isn't Infinity War and Endgame. Like
Mm-mm.
you didn't set that up that well, brother. Like it's not like it ain't that serious. Like I'm not gonna hold on to the juice for a whole year.
No, I'm chomping at the bits for maybe 2 weeks, three
Yeah,
weeks, and
yeah, and
then I'm
then
gonna
we're back.
forget and not give a shit.
Yep,
Like,
that's
I
exactly
don't
it.
know. Again, let us know what you guys felt about it overall, whether it was positive or negative. Overall, I would say that we felt positively
Middle.
about it,
I feel just like
but
extremely middle ground about it. Like there was things I liked about it, but there was things I extremely hated. And I think like the for me at least, the muse outweighed the cool Punisher scene at the end.
and
So for me,
that's a
it
good
just
point.
sits.
Like
It
we're
just sits at a
compare
neutral zero.
for the
Like
most part,
at
we
a
have very few things to compare itself to. We have very few really good moments and very few really bad moments to compare each other to. So invariably, it's gonna be a
yeah.
middling
It's just a
show.
neutral show, man. Yeah, I can't put it another way. It's kind of like I compared it very much to WandaVision for me, where like I liked it. I liked it a lot, but there was just not much in it. Like
Mhm.
just like not worthy of the rewatch. I enjoyed it. I ingested it. That's that. And I really was hoping for some top level stuff coming out of Daredevil because I thought this was the show that made Kevin Feige change his mind and go, okay, we got to stop doing quantity and start doing quality. I thought that this was it. So like maybe again, maybe it's just us, man. Maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm harping on the wrong things. You guys, please let us know if like this is a banger show for you and like you are like MCU is back, baby. That's what I thought this was supposed to be. Daredevil
That's
was
what I was
supposed to
hoping
be
for it.
MCU born again.
Yeah.
That is not the vibe that I'm getting out of this show. You know what I mean? Please tell us if you agree or not. Uh Let us know what you want us to do episodes about next. You know, like there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus here between this and I think Thunderbolts is the next
Thunderbolts will
thing
be the next big
coming out.
release. Yeah.
So please in the comments let us know what kind of an episode do you want to see us doing next, and we will definitely do that. We'll give you a shout out. Please like, share, and subscribe at Hosts4Hire podcast. That's Hosts4Hire with the number 4.
So we have a couple episodes that we're getting ready to put out right now. It has to do with DC's Absolute Universe. Highly recommend you go and check all of those out so that when we drop those episodes, you'll be able to watch them right away. We don't want to ruin anything for you, especially with those. We do appreciate you guys stopping by. We have been your hosts for hire, and we will catch you with the next episode.
Peace.